Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell has just happened?
And Captain Jack's back. And Captain Jack.
What?
And Captain Jack.
What has just happened? What has just happened? I've got so many questions. What? Right. Hi guys, and welcome to our review of episode 5, Fugitive of the Judoon. I can't even speak. There is so much to take in from one episode. My mind is exploding with just everything. We've had... let me just say this. I never thought I'd say this ever on this channel. We have just seen the return of Captain Jack. We've also been given a tiny little bit of a storyline regarding the lone Cyberman, which we've seen in trailers. We've also seen what looks to be another Doctor, maybe?
I don't know how I feel about that.
And we've also met past Gallifreyans who clearly don't know what has happened to Gallifrey. What? I don't know where to start.
I really don't know.
I do not know where to start. Let's just draw a line under and just say what we thought of that episode. Liv.
Fantastic. This is what I have been flipping waiting for. I'm speechless. I am speechless.
This isn't any old story arc that we've had. This is huge.
Captain friggin' Jack!
The return that has been hyped. In the last couple of days, BBC America had to take a tweet down because they hyped someone returning and people were joking, oh, it might be Captain Jack. And I was like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be good? But Captain Jack was back.
I recognised his voice straight away.
Jack is back after a decade.
So long of seeing him. End of Time Part 2 was the last time we seen him.
It was.
The last time.
It was the End of Time Part 2. And we never thought we'd see him again. Never. We thought the ship had sailed. We thought he was in the past. Why would they bring him back? But they have. They've brought him back.
Judoon, you beautiful man.
And we thought this whole story arc was big enough after Spyfall. And we were absolutely losing our minds over how massive it was then. But it's just when you think it's hit the top gear, it's just went up again. It's like it's even... What we thought was massive is now ginormous. This story arc at the end was summed up perfectly. You've got Captain Jack. You've got this apparent other Doctor. You've got Gallifrey destroyed. You've got the Master. You've got the Timeless Child. She says the Cybermen, something's coming for her. What on earth is this all going to lead to? This is by far the biggest, most jam-packed and exciting story arc I think we've had in modern Who. It's just taken Chibnall's Who into this
second gear,
this other stratosphere. And this is the part of Chibnall's Who that I was excited about when he joined, because we've seen what he's like with Broadchurch, how good he was at building a story, and then this big climax. And finally, we're starting to see these pieces come together. What on earth has he got planned?
Got no idea. I am speechless.
I am lost for words at what we have just witnessed tonight.
I am friggin' speechless.
I don't think I've ever been this gripped for Doctor Who in a long, long time. I think probably the end of the Russell era. I don't think I've been as hooked. Maybe in the 50th, I was briefly incredibly hooked for that, but this Who, I mean, it's unmissable now.
It's unbelievable.
Let's try and talk about some parts of the episode. So it starts relatively simple.
Yes.
With the Judoon, of course, who in the end, unfortunately, took quite a back seat in this episode. But they come back, they were looking for this fugitive. Obviously at the start there was this whole mystery surrounding Lee and his Mrs. Ruth. And I thought at the start it was a very, very clever mystery, because you had no idea who it was. And I just thought that the one thing about this episode that was so great is it kept you guessing.
Yeah.
You had no idea who was who and what was round the corner.
Yeah, it did keep you guessing.
What did you think of how the episode started with the Judoon and the Fugitive?
I so liked it. So how it started off dead normal. So Ruth living a normal life, Lee involved, and in all this time, so I was thinking, there's this Lee, so there's something with him that's not quite right. But in the end, it was the other way around. So you're like, eh?
This episode did so well at building and building and building and adding another little bit and then building and building and building. It wasn't rushed. It was paced perfectly. They didn't jump to any conclusions too quickly. It didn't drag. I felt like the whole thing just built up perfectly. The momentum of the episode just kept on going. And I thought the mystery around them was fantastic. And the performance by the two of them, brilliant.
Yeah, very good.
What did you think of the Judoon? Because I loved seeing the Judoon back.
I did.
I thought they were brilliant.
I was like that. It finally felt like normal Doctor Who again. You know, like it's like this. It's a previous villain back that we've not seen in so long.
Yeah, I thought it was lovely to see the Judoon back.
I do.
There was a few little references of the Judoon platoon, and I like how she had to stop and go lagoon to try and make it rhyme. There was some really nice references to Smith and Jones in there, and I thought seeing the Judoon back was great, and I loved seeing them. Obviously, they were never going to be enough to be a villain. I never expected them to be a villain because that's not who they are, unless they were like a rogue team that gone bad. But I thought for the part they played in the episode, they were very good.
But what was nice and that's when Chibnall's Doctor Who so far, which we haven't seen, so as villains killing actual people. That was nice to kind of see that again.
Yeah, they were very good. I like how the Doctor often described them as well, as they look harmless, but on the wrong side, they're deadly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought that was really cool, because then you know that if anybody even remotely sort of, even though they are meant to be police, if anyone ever sort of steps out of line with them, like the guy in the shop, they just execute it straight away. I thought they were fantastic. Obviously, there's so many parts of the episode that just happen later, so we'll get, I guess, the companions out of the way. Now, I thought, in the beginning of the episode, I thought the three of them were quite good. Again, you know, Ryan was there mostly for comic effect, as was Graham. Yaz used her police officer side of her quite well. And I thought I
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I so finally feel like the companions had the right part to play, but overall, so the episode was focused on the Doctor, and even also what I liked the most was at the start, was they were questioning her, a lot, which I liked a lot.
For the first time, there was tension between them all.
Tension's brewing.
And I'm glad, because I was only saying last week in a video I did last week that things are just too happy-go-lucky, easy going. And it's nice to see that there's a tension between them now. They're starting to see these different things happening, and they're starting to question who she is, because they've travelled with her for so long now, and they don't even know who she is.
No.
Stranger.
Exactly.
So I thought the three of them were absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Graham was separated. And when he appeared in this ship, I instantly looked at you and went, that's the Master's TARDIS. We're going to see Sacha Dhawan. But then this American accent came over.
I recognised that voice straight away.
Straight away,
I said, oh my God, that's Jack. And the both of us screamed like giddy little school children when Captain Jack returned. And the most funny thing of all, he actually thought Graham was the Doctor. It was genius.
It was
genius.
Vintage Captain Jack.
I just love him.
I heard his voice and I thought, it can't be. Why would it be? What? And then he appeared and he's like, I'm back if you missed me. And I just went, ah! It was incredible. And the first thing he does was snog Graham. Which was absolutely amazing. And he had to learn about, and when he was told that the Doctor's now a woman, he's like, I've got to see this. It was absolutely amazing. It's like John Barrowman just stepped straight back into the role
That guy never changes. He's
born to be Captain Jack.
He is born to play.
And I just can't believe we've seen Captain Jack again.
And
I just can't fathom in my head that he's back. We've waited a decade for this. Every
long to
series,
see him.
every series, when people say, "Who do you want to return?" The character at the top is Captain Jack. I want to see Captain Jack, and finally, they've done it.
The other thing I liked was that. So with him being in the episode, so we've never seen that much of him.
It teased us, didn't it?
So that keeps me thinking that we are going to see him here again.
Yes.
Hopefully in the finale. And I have a funny feeling that the finale will be the lone Cybermen.
Yes, I think it will. I mean, when Jack left, my first reaction was, "No, where have you gone?
Yeah.
And I was like, why has he come and gone so quick? But that's the point. It's the mid-season. It's the mid-season episode.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him meet the Doctor yet. You don't want to see everything, all these questions answered. You want it to just tease you and keep you going. And I think he was in it just the right amount. Obviously, having him in one set is probably what helped it keep a secret. Because no one would have had any idea that it was him. But obviously he knows about the lone Cyberman. Something is connected around that. He had to disappear. There was the mention of the nanogenes again, which is a nice reference to his first episode on his ship in Series 1, which was awesome. But there was just so many funny lines with him.
Oh,
it was
never
just
changes.
Chibnall or whoever it was, or the writer, Vinny Patel, whoever written Jack, I mean, they written him absolutely perfectly.
Bang on.
To see him back made me so happy. And he's going to be back soon. And I like how we don't know when. And that's the beauty of this Doctor, and I said it to you before the episode. The best part about Chibnall's Who is you have no idea what's coming. You don't know any spoilers. The trailers don't give anything away, and it's moments like that pay off and make that worthwhile, because we don't know when he's going to come back. We don't know when we're going to see him again. We've not seen him meet the Doctor yet. That whole moment is still to come.
Oh, definitely.
And it keeps you excited.
Without a doubt.
It was amazing to see Jack back.
See him back.
My God.
Oh!
So anyway, the episode continued somehow from that and somehow managed to step up. And we then, of course, go back to this lighthouse with Ruth, who we think is just this harmless character who obviously, out of nowhere, as the Doctor said, turned into Jackie Chan. Just absolutely kicked the hell out of all the Judoon. But then there was the scene where she broke the glass. She kept getting this message in her head, break the glass. Exactly like in Series 3 when Professor Yana was getting these things in his head. And I remember when she broke the glass, I looked at you, didn't I? And I said, that's regeneration energy. That is like she's been turned from human to Time Lord. And when the Doctor discovered the police box, I thought it was the Rani. I was sure it was the Rani. But then she said she was the Doctor. And my jaw instantly went, what?
Now,
and I was unsure on this, and I still am.
This is the part that I am questioning. And also, like, Chibnall, what you're doing. Because I ain't wanting it to be a Doctor. Because to me, because all that is kind of like ruining the history. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Tampering with history
tampering
a bit
with
too
history
much.
a bit too much. What I'm hoping for, so is she's met the Master somehow, and when the Master's twisted her mind, so into tricking the Doctor, she is another Doctor. But the only part of the episode that I'm questioning.
I agree.
Even also thinking, what's he trying to do? What lane's he going down, and why?
Exactly, and there's been rumours about this. Plenty of rumours that they were going to delve into a Doctor before the first, a Doctor that was obviously wiped from the Doctor's memory. And that was heavily hinted at because, obviously...
It can't be, because then that, to me, is... So it's tampering with the show's history.
It's a very, very, very thin... It's like walking on incredibly thin ice tampering with the show's history. Obviously, we've
That's
seen it.
what I'm scared of.
Mm.
Like, we've known Doctor Who for ages, and then all of a sudden, we have this other Doctor. You're like, what the hell is he trying to achieve, and why?
It's a difficult one because it's been done well in The Day of the Doctor with John Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time they've done this, let's remember that. They've plucked another Doctor out of thin air before. They did it with John Hurt's War Doctor. That worked perfectly because there was the whole Time War thing between classic and modern Who where they could slot him in and it made sense. But doing it before Hartnell is the bit that I'm questioning, because
this is what I don't like, because the problem is we all know Hartnell to be the first.
Yeah.
And even also on top of that, the Doctor that started the show off.
Exactly.
And I am scared to hell that it is true, like before him. And my instinct would be saying, well, why do that?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one because it depends. It really is. You've got to be so careful. We've seen it done well in The Day of the Doctor. The hybrid is the other side of that when it was done completely wrong, to the point where the whole Doctor running away from Gallifrey because of a hybrid thing seems to have just been wiped from it. It just didn't happen. It's like a failed thing that we're just going to forget about.
Yeah, but the problem
this is bigger than the two.
The problem is, like you said, the War Doctor worked, so because of the Time War.
Yeah.
And that all fitted in and that worked. But the problem is, how does this work before the first Doctor? Because surely on top of that, Jodie herself is the Doctor, so would be able to know.
Well, that's the big question. Why does the 13th Doctor not recognise her? Obviously, this is before the Sonic, because this, I'm going to call her Doctor, has never seen the Sonic before. The first Doctor who created the Sonic was Troughton, so it's before Troughton. But if she is the first Doctor, then it's going to make Hartnell the second Doctor,
exactly.
and Troughton the third, and Pertwee the fourth, and Baker the fifth.
That's what I'm hating the most.
It's wrong.
Well, that to me is tampering with a lot of history.
Mm.
And the problem is, tampering with a lot of history could go incredibly wrong.
Very wrong. I can't look at Tom Baker and go, "You're now the fifth Doctor."
I can't.
I just couldn't do it.
And the problem is, so it kind of messes Hartnell, so is the first Doctor up.
Exactly. And the thing is that the big thing that I thought instantly was, she's got the police box TARDIS, but in the name of the Doctor, we saw Clara tell Hartnell's Doctor which TARDIS to steal.
Mm.
So if Hartnell was the Doctor who stole that TARDIS, how can this Doctor be before him?
Exactly.
How can she be? Because that's going against the name of the Doctor, which of course was a big thing that revolved around then the War Doctor being brought in. So it is a very big risk. And the problem is
it's dangerous.
You can play around with stuff, and I think if you play around with it and you twist things too much, you can break it. And I do not want him to twist things about to the point where he breaks continuity.
And history.
And
most
suddenly Hartnell's the second, Troughton's the third, Tom's the fifth, Troughton's the eighth, Eccleston's the 10th, Tennant's the 11th, Smith's the 12th, Capaldi's the 13th, Jodie's the 14th. What?
Work.
Maybe I'm being stuck in my ways and being too traditionalist, but I've got box sets over there that say the fourth Doctor is Tom Baker. I can't then go back and say that he's the fifth Doctor.
Like here, so we're not slamming Rufus' performance.
Oh no, we'll get onto that in a bit, but
which was great. But the problem is, so I'm worried that Chris Chibnall, so is doing a Stephen Moffat, and like jumping into things quickly,
fiddling with things too much.
Yeah, but history of the show.
It's a big. It's not even that. It's the start of it. It's the beginning of the show. That's the thing. And it needs to be so careful. I mean, let's talk about it as an idea. I mean, as an idea, I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see where it's going to go. Obviously, we are both incredibly hesitant as to what we think is happening. But I'm intrigued as to see how and why, because in the flashback with the timeless child, the child we saw was a coloured child. Ruth is a coloured woman. That makes me think that they're the same person. So does that make her the timeless child? Because at the same time, she wasn't acting like the Doctor that we know, being very violent, being holding a gun, being more War Doctor and Valiard-esque. I mean, why would that Gallifreyan woman, who was from before all of who that we know from the very, very beginning, why was she wanting to hunt down the Doctor? Why was she wanting to kill her? Is it because she's the timeless child? Or is it too simple that we've just witnessed the timeless child? Is that why they want to kill her? Because she's this timeless child who obviously, you know, this whole thing, and like the Master said, everything we know is a lie. Does that mean the Doctor's life as well?
I hope not.
Is that what they mean? Is the Doctor's life a lie? Was there a Doctor before?
I hope not. I really hope not. What I'm hoping is that it was that Rufus Doctor, so he's met the Master.
I'm hoping it won't be the Rani. I know it won't.
It's the Master's twisted her head, so into thinking she's a doctor before Geordie to make Geordie question.
But she had a TARDIS though. I don't know.
Chibnall, why have you done this?
It's good that he's done this because it's getting us talking, it's getting us theorising, it's getting us, to talk about it. That's the point. I'm hoping that she isn't the Doctor, personally.
I am.
The problem is all the pieces fit together. The timeless child is the Doctor, who, as a child, the Time Lords must have done something to the Doctor, which is causing these Gallifreyans to come after her, to want to kill her. And then at some point, her mind was wiped and she regenerated into Hartnell. It fits, but I don't want it to fit like that. And I'm wondering if it's too simple for it to fit like that. It's too easy, surely. That's how it is. Surely there's got to be another twist in there, another twist on top that she hasn't actually the Doctor. I don't know.
I hope so. Just because the classic series of Who, even watching classic episodes back, so I'll be thinking, well, you're not the first Doctor.
It's wrong.
You're the second Doctor.
Yeah.
It all it does is messes things up, and because like I said, so it scares me that Chibnall. So it's being a Stephen Moffat kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put it out there now. I mean, if the answer is that she is the first incarnation of the Doctor, I'm gonna put it out there now. I don't like it.
No, I don't. 100% not.
And I'm just saying this now, before it does or does not happen. I don't like the idea of it.
No, I don't.
And if it is that, I won't be happy at all. I won't be for it. I'm hoping,
because
like I say,
the problem is that tampers and messes with the history of the show.
a little bit too much.
Yeah,
for me.
far too much.
A bit too much. I appreciate that, it's big, it's ballsy, it's going to get people talking, it's going to change Who forever, and it's going to be something that's remembered forever. If Chibnall wants to put his stamp on the show, this is probably the biggest way of doing it, but I don't think it's the right way of doing it. I think it's the wrong way. Like I said, I think as much as it fits, I think it's too easy. I think the pieces are fitting together way too simply. I hope there's another twist in there that she is another Time Lord who
connected to the Master.
Yeah, who is trying to trick the Time Lords. Maybe is trying to trick the Doctor herself into thinking she's the Doctor. I mean, how better to disguise yourself than making you think you're your enemy?
Exactly, yeah.
So I hope the Doctor's not the timeless child. I hope when the Master says everything you know is a lie, it means something else. I really do.
That's why, because that's by myself. So I am just keep going back to the idea that that the Master has a part to play in this.
He's got to. He's got to.
I'm certain of it.
I certainly hope so. We'll see how that transpires, obviously, and then at the end we, of course, learnt more about the Lone Cyberman, which I love the idea of. It looks awesome from the trailers. It's obviously
Cybermen being back again, though, as well. It's just good, and like the line at the end. So was the companions.
I love the end scene. There was big tension there when the Doctor looked up and went, "You don't know me." No offense, Ryan, but I've lived for thousands of years. You've been here a matter of seconds, really. I mean, she looked at them and that's the darkest I've seen her. She basically told the companions, "You don't know me. You can't judge me." And they then turned it into, "We'll be there for you," which was lovely.
It was nice.
But I instantly got the idea of them saying, "We're going to be with you all the way." I think foreshadows that they're going to be there when they shouldn't be, and they're going to probably feel the consequences. Being this, what's the word? This supportive of the Doctor is going to cost one of them, if not more of them, their lives. I think. And I think that's why she's been trying to keep them at distance, because she knows what they're dealing with is dangerous, and I think it's going to come back to bite them if they get too close. But finally, let's finish on Jodie's performance. The best yet. She was outstanding.
From minute one to right at the end, she owned every scene.
Absolutely.
Like this is what I've been waiting for. The seriousness was there, a touch of humour, not too much rambling. But so what I will say again, that I'm still not enjoying, is that the Sonic is still getting used far too much for me.
It was in the episode a lot this week.
Far too much, again. But apart from that, she was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like she owned the scene of the Doctor there.
She did. She was absolutely incredible.
What I've been waiting for.
She's really coming into her own now. I'm really starting to see her. It's not like she's trying to be the Doctor. It's starting to feel like her performance is natural, and that she's really gotten into character now, and she's comfortable with her Doctor. And at the start, a little bit too much exposition. The Sonic was used too much, but the balance between humour and seriousness.
It just worked.
Some of her lines and some of the way she delivered some of the lines.
It just worked.
She was the Doctor in them scenes. Absolutely. Her best performance yet by a mile.
Was that scene? So when they're in this place with so was that woman?
The lighthouse.
Not the lighthouse. The other part. So when she's seen that woman that's connected to the Judoon somehow.
Oh yeah, when she was talking about what she'd seen.
Yeah.
In Gallifrey.
That woman. So when they touched heads, I was like, oh wow, wow.
She was fantastic in that scene. When she was saying, I've seen Gallifrey destroy Tice, I've seen the war, I've seen a lunatic destroy it. She was absolutely fantastic. She's coming into her own, and I thought she was wonderful this week. So, yeah. How do we conclude on this episode? And what do we rate it?
You go first.
Well, I thought for a mid-season episode, it was absolutely perfect. It took what was already a very exciting story arc. And I guess, after episode 3 and 4, the momentum was starting to drop off a bit.
Yeah.
We needed to be reminded of what is going on. We had the scene at the start, obviously, when she said she's been looking for the Master. And they also hinted that the companions aren't always there. When she drops them off, she goes back home, she looks for him. I like that that's still happening. I loved her in them scenes. And it's just kept the whole arc ticking along. But it's took it up to an even other level. And at the end when she said, we've got, Captain Jack's involved, the Cybermen, we've got another Doctor, we've got the Timeless Child, the Master, Gallifrey, something is coming for me. What the hell is it? It took this whole Doctor Who into another stratosphere. I'm even more excited than I was before. I thought every part of the episode was fantastic. Jack being back has just made me so happy. But I am going to knock a point off for my reservation of her being another Doctor. Because as intrigued as I am, and don't get me wrong, I'm so hooked to see where they're going to go with this. There is a massive, massive part of me that doesn't want that to be the case, because I know I just won't like it. So for that, I'm going to give it a 9.
Snap.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9 for the exact reasons.
Yeah.
The other doctor wasn't involved.
By the way, can I say Ruth's performance as the other doctor?
Fantastic.
She sold it to being the doctor. She was fantastic. If you want to think she's the doctor.
And also, can I just say that so what's the side cast in this episode? The best so far.
They were very good. Yeah.
Of the series. If Ruth's doctor wasn't like the doctor kind of thing, maybe it's a 9.5 to a 10.
Yeah.
But so I'm worried that Chris is doing a Moffat.
The worrying thing for me is she absolutely to just instantly appear on the screen and try to sell yourself to viewers as being the doctor is not easy, but she did, and I was sat there thinking, no. You're making a great doctor, but I don't want you to be the doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
The way she was talking, the way that she was actually she was like the doctor with an edge, and I thought that's awesome. You know, for another female doctor, you're awesome, but I don't want you to be the doctor. So I am really, really stuck.
Before we go, there was another part of the episode I liked, which and both the companions at the end were saying, well, a Sidemen, what's a Sidemen? And the doctor said that the Sidemen are like to empower the Daleks, and that to me was like, yes!
We've had it all. And Ryan said, well, I'd love to meet them. So, yeah, you can't really judge the companions this week because there was just so many other awesome things going on, but for what they did, they were great, and I'm sure when we have more low-key episodes they'll have a chance to come to the forefront a bit more, but
wow,
unbelievable.
What an episode.
This is what Doctor Who's all about.
Exactly.
Getting you excited, making you so excited for what's to come. It can bring characters back, it can twist things. This is the best of Doctor Who. I just hope Chibnall doesn't get carried away and goes too far.
Don't do a Moffat, and please control yourself.
Control yourself, Chibnall.
Please control yourself.
There we go.
Do not do a Stephen Moffat.
There you go, Chibnall. You've been told to control yourself. And on that note, we will end the review here. So thank you very much for listening, guys. If you've enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel for weekly reviews of Doctor Who Series 12. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload every single video. And most importantly, comment below your thoughts on this episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you like? What did you not like? And especially, what are your thoughts on potentially there being another Doctor before William Hartnell? I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.